Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And on Instagram and Ravelry, you can find me as TooLizForYou, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry and Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I posted today what we've been doing. Yeah, we took the front window out of the boat. Sorry, I do have to say of the boat.
Yeah.
We didn't go down to see my mom. My brother texted me on Thursday when we were leaving on Sunday, today. We were going to go down today. That she was tested positive for COVID.
Mind you, I called her yesterday, and she just told me that someone in the wing tested positive, so now we're all quarantining.
Right. She doesn't remember being tested. She's a little hoarse. She's a little congested, but you ask her if she's sick, she says, no, I'm fine. So, whatever. But I said, oh, well, we're not going down. No. And the cardiologist doesn't want to see her. So, our trip has been put off. I did discuss Thanksgiving with them, and apparently we're going to drive down on Wednesday, take Mom out to dinner on Wednesday. She is not driving down to Richmond. Okay. We're not doing that little debacle again. And then we're going down to Richmond because it's a small Thanksgiving, and they have room for us, so we'll stay at the house with them.
Okay.
And I guess come home on Saturday, probably back by Mom, see her again, and then come on home. So,
well, this is the first I'm hearing of Thanksgiving plans, so I guess we will
talk.
Well,
you were going up to Connecticut,
but I hadn't fully decided.
Oh. I thought you told me you were going to Connecticut.
No.
Oh.
That's the tentative plan.
Okay. Well,
I guess since my cousin, it sounds like my cousins aren't going to be in town, so.
Joe may be there and Sarah may be there, but okay. Laura and Austin will be out west, probably. Okay. So, she can't hold the pre-Thanksgiving. So I thought.
Or Thanksgiving. She held Thanksgiving last year.
Right. She's not doing that.
Yeah.
So, So Mary said we could come down.
Okay, I gotta talk with the boyfriend and figure out.
She said if you were driving down South Carolina, you could come and stay with them on the way down. I said I think they're headed to Connecticut, but whatever.
Yeah, if we drive down to if we end up going down to South Carolina and not taking a flight, we would definitely stay with them for an evening so that to break the drive up.
Yes.
Because that is a long drive.
16 hours, 17 hours is long. Anyway.
In other news.
Almost finished. I finished the knitting of this cardigan.
Look at you.
Now, I was so afraid that when I hurt my thumb with the shawl that it was carpal tunnel, and I didn't want to have
and now you're
surgery.
Just like, well, it's just arthritis, not a big deal.
I'll
work through the pain.
That's right. It's a bone spur. I saw the bone spur. I'm not giving that bone spur any satisfaction. So I'm really happy with it. The sleeves have this little garter ridge.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure. It doesn't go all the way around. It's just there. I said, fine, whatever. So I do have buttons. I got them at Knit Long Island, which is in Roslyn. Whoops, let's turn it right side up. There. And they match quite well. So, Frick and Frack here are overdoing laundry. So once the laundry is done, I'm going to put this through the washer and then block it on the dining room table. I didn't want to take up the dining room table before you all got here.
I know.
So then I will block it on the dining room table, and then it will be dry at least by Tuesday. And I can do the grosgrain ribbon. And since the penguins are black,
you're going to use the black
I'm going to use the black. Well, this is the brown, but there is black.
Yeah, there's black around here.
Grosgrain ribbon, so I'm going to use that. I was really happy with the way it turned out on her brother's sweater, so I will do that again. So that is one thing I finished.
Well, I finished a part of something. I finished the neckline to
that looks nice.
The Hento by Meiju. And I really, really love it. I've put it on, and I think I'm going to end up wearing it like this on Saturday or Sunday, depending on
for Rhinebeck.
How my sweater in my lap is moving. for Rhinebeck, and also depending on weather. I've got a long sleeve shirt I can wear under. I've got a short. I've got a tank top. I've got options because the armhole or the arm size is quite large and gaping, which will be glorious for the long sleeves.
Yes.
But for wearing
and
as
it's not supposed to be hot at
vest.
Rhinebeck.
No.
Nor really cold. I'm not anticipating snow. Like
I'm anticipating like 60.
50, late 50s, high 50s, 60s.
So like this past week with
I'm gonna bring my winter coat depending on how raw it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have that. Is it over there on my suitcase?
Yes.
There. Okay, it's over there on my suitcase.
I believe maybe
something like
similar to it.
And as well as bringing fake fleece.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could bring my
foul weather gear jacket, and I've got my hiking pants on.
Oh yeah.
So they block the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were out on the boat today. If you looked at the Instagram, you saw there was no front window when Richard was fooling with the hatch.
Yeah.
We were very lucky. We got the hatch. We got the hatch out. We found 2 days ago. Went Friday. We shot water at the window and found water coming in. We thought we had fixed it. It rained Friday night a little bit. Saturday, he went back out to the boat. There was water in the boat. By the air conditioning stuff. So it meant that we hadn't totally fixed it. So today, and I fell coming in from the grocery store because we have a new rule. I have one hand for me and one hand for everything else.
Yeah, I noticed how you had more than one hand full today. That's why I made a comment.
But it was just, it wasn't heavy like the groceries. Yes, yesterday, I went grocery shopping and I had 3 bags. And I thought, I should be able to get up those steps.
You pulled a New Yorker.
Yes. And I got to the top step and my shoe caught on the grocery bag and I fell. Luckily, I twisted and ended up on my butt.
Good. I'm very proud of you.
I did hit my ear on the bricks, but your father said it wasn't bleeding. Okay. But it got me out of going to the boat.
That's nice.
So anyway, he went to the boat, found water. That's when today we went to the boat. I shot water at the eyebrow roof over those windows. And the water wasn't coming in the eyebrow. It was coming in the top of the windows. So we took out the whole window frame and window. And found out that the top had gotten a kiss and a promise of glue. The sides were full of glue. They were a full 5/8 inch wide glue strip. The top was, maybe the tip of your little finger. Oh yeah. Oops. So we got the window out, and Richard cleaned the boat edge, and I cleaned the window edge, and so we have now taped the window back in. He has pop riveted the locks, so they should be good and tight. And then tomorrow we're going to go back and glue it in. And we'll go early so that we can clamp it and glue it, and it should be fine. So far, the things that we have fixed have stayed fixed.
Good.
Yes. Then I think we're going to have to investigate if there's anybody who could actually install the window in the front section on the port side, because I think the window's leaking. Well, we know there's a leak. We can see the leak on the inside. It's just that there's a small wall there. And I'm going to take a picture tomorrow of the wall that's glued, or the covering that's glued to the wall. And then I'll call Leopard in Florida on Tuesday to see if there's any way of getting a replacement panel. Because if there is, I want to rip the panel off so that that inside the boat can dry. And then we'd really be able to see what's going on with the window. However, if they don't have a replacement panel, then we may just go with replacing the window. So we'll have to see about that. I'm really not up for trying to Sawzall.
Well, I was going to say we could, or if they say, well, if you know someone who has a laser cutter, we could always find the maker spaces around and get the material. And like if they give you the file for it, then we just bring the file there and
but I don't want to have to take the window out. I mean, you saw it.
No. I'm not saying you take the window. Like if you're also replacing, you can so that you can take that board off. If they're saying, well, we don't have that, but we have, like...
the file for the size.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, yeah, but the window, I have to find someone who replaces windows.
Okay.
Because I think the window is losing its seal. In fact, I can tell you, I know the window is losing its seal because when you shoot water at it, pieces of seal come off.
Great.
Yeah. So, when it goes through waves, God bless you, water gets in the boat. And we need to stop that. So, we'll figure this one out.
Yep.
We took seating out of the boat and unzipped the cushions and have applied vinegar to the black spots.
Good.
And set it outside yesterday, and they really pretty much ameliorated, at least until I can decide when I want to redo the cushions entirely. So that's good. Okay, I'm working on...
I was going to say, that's a lot of boat talk for a knitting podcast.
Well, I know, but that's what you do.
So, as I said, I've got that far on that sweater. I think I'm going to leave it for Rhinebeck. And I haven't finished anything else, but I'm working on things. So what are you working on, Mom?
I'm working on Rebel 2, except when you look it up on Ravelry, it's only Rebel. And it is by Lesley Ann Robinson. And this is a Christmas present for a friend of mine. And it is brioche. And I need to do a total of 6 of these patterns. I have done 2. So obviously this is 1, this is 2. Maybe I can do 4 more tonight. That would be cool. And then the next section has a total of 6 patterns. And then it looks to me like there's just 6 rows and then 6 rows. So each one of these patterns is 8 rows. So, and obviously you have to do each row twice. So it's 4 times 16 to get through this section. I would like to get through this section as much as I could today and then move on to the next section because this is the 3rd of 3 presents that I'm making. So the sooner I get this done, then I can go on to the Christmas present for Miss Pris that I'm actually designing and finally get that on the road. So I did make a good start. I haven't done brioche in 3 or 4 years, so it's very loose. I think as a knitting construct, it's not my most favorite. I mean, I like how squishy it is, but I don't really like all the looseness.
So I think it depends on what you use with it, because I agree. This is very loose, but also that's the gauge it was called for. But right. I think the mohair in this fills it in and helps with the look of the looseness. Because also, if you, like, just feel it, it doesn't feel loose.
No,
it
feels fine.
Yeah. So I think it also might be a blocking thing with yours.
It may be a blocking thing. But, I mean...
Because also you're using... Are those singles? Or is it plied?
Plied.
Oh. It looks like a single.
Well, it's not. It's plied. Okay. So anyway, I have started that and worked on it.
Good.
Anything else?
So I realized that a friend of mine is expecting in January. I know I spoke about this before, but I finally got moving on the Penguino.
I like it.
So I have started the welts on one side. I'm going to get the welts on this side done. And then I'm going to do it as the instructions say, but I'm not going to take needles out. I'm just going to do it all mirrored with 2 sets of needles.
Oh, good idea.
I didn't bring the set with me, but I wanted to show off. I got the J'adore set from from Knitter's Pride. They're cubic, and they're purple, and they're lovely.
Are they ceramic or wood?
No, wood.
I do like the Indian River ceramic ones, yes.
But yeah, so this is the first thing I'm using those on. So I'm excited to see how those work out.
Yeah.
And again, that's a Penguino. We all know how much I love knitting Penguinos for little ones. And it's a really good color set. I've also got a navy blue that goes with that.
That'll be nice.
So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Other than that, do you have anything else you're working on?
Yes.
Okay.
I started my Stephen West.
Oh yeah.
Make along. So I think I've done 6 rows. Let me find. Where is this? Okay, I've done about 6 rows. I've got 3 of these little bars.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's easy. And it's chippy.
Yeah.
Potato chippy. But I have these presents that have to get done. So I looked at the video, and what I figure is I'll finish Denise's shawl, then I'll do the first clue. Then I'll do Miss Pris's dress, and then I'll go whole hog with this. I am going to bring it to Rhinebeck with me to finish maybe the first clue, because I'm not sure I want to sit. I'm not sure about the brioche. Well, I'll bring the brioche, and I'll bring this, and then I'll also bring my summer sweater that I was working on, that I got left in the dust.
Well, I think you and I both had weird mojo over summer where we really didn't. I think these are the first 2 sweaters I've actually like worked on this year.
Well, I find that on the boat, it rocks me to sleep.
It does. I can attest to this.
I just go boom, at I was up here until 3 o'clock last night watching The Empress.
Oh goodness.
Yes, staying wide awake, not a problem.
And then you're on the boat, and you're like, boom! It's 10:30.
It's 10:30. I'm out. So anyway, I got this far. I think the directions are relatively simple enough that I could sit there at Indian Tangle while she's working to
on Thursday.
Work on this. And then I'm going to bring, I think, my sock bag and my summer sweater, because I can work on socks while I'm sitting there working, because they come in waves. You're doing, I'm doing
vendor and volunteer
check-ins for vendors and volunteers and give them their stuff.
So if you are working with Indy, either as a vendor or a volunteer, you will see our faces.
Yes.
You've already seen mine probably, because I'm volunteer coordinator this year, and Mom will be who you are checking in on. And if you were in today's orientation, this is my mother I was talking about. She's great.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, but I can work on a sock.
Yes.
I can work on a sock while I'm talking to you and doing 16 other things. So I think the sock bag will be good, because it's got sock yarn in it, and I can just work on any and all of it.
I think I'm going to bring the pinguino, because as evidenced by Friday, where I stuck a ball of yarn in my pocket, and then with the pinguino in my pocket as well, and then just pulled it out throughout the day. My coworkers found it very amusing.
You are very amusing.
It made the subway ride a lot easier, because I didn't have to go in my bag for it.
That's good. I was checking to make sure I hadn't pulled my needle out.
Oh, good.
Because I had stepped on one end of it.
Anything else? I am furiously over here trying to get some sleeves on this Centerpoint Popover. Give me just a second to finish one of these sleeves. I have no new Rhinebeck sweater to wear. I did not make a Rhinebeck sweater this year. I just didn't have the mojo to do it. I made 2 little kid sweaters. Well, have you made other sweaters this year? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, just wear one of those. Well, I'm going to bring sweaters because it's going to be chilly. And I'm going to bring my silk undershirts, and I'm going to be warm. So, last we spoke, I was working on the second sleeve, decreasing that, and I'm in it, and I have tried it on. It looks really cute. But now I am knitting the sleeves. I knit them for at least 13 inches, and then I'm going to try it on. We are currently at 4 or 5 inches, so we've got another 9 to go. 8 or 9 to go. It's 2x2 ribs, so it does take a little bit. which is frustrating.
Yes, but it'll be lovely.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. I think this entire thing will open up a lot once I throw it in the water.
Yes.
I want to get the sleeves done, and then I'll do the hem. I'm debating throwing it in the water before I do the hem and the hood, just so I can see if I need to add length at the hem.
That's a good plan.
So that's what's in my lap and what I've been working on. And Mom mentioned her MKAL. I finally have my colors. I did have to purchase my main colors. So
I love that.
The middle is my contract, my pop scheme, which is Aqualung by Miss Babs. And then I have Ocean from KFI Indulgence Kettle Dyed Fingering.
I love that.
And then I've got an Alegria Manos in foil.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I had originally wanted my pop to be a variegated that I have from Miss Babs, which is this. And we decided at Knit, where I brought all of my options, and we decided, I went around the shop and I was like holding this, and I was like, what do you want to be friends with? And I had it all laid out on the table, and we decided that instead of doing this as the pop, this would be better. Because as you can see though, essentially all three of these colors are in this scheme. So, and also with the pattern as it is currently being released, and with also the recommendation to use primarily solid colors, we did decide as a group, because I did request.
Although Steven has some of his color kits with variegated,
but we decided that having a solid
would be good.
Set would be good, and it still follows in the line of that I had wanted.
Yes.
To be in the blue family, so that's good.
While we were at Knit, I found the $5 bin. So yes, what I've got is 8 of these lace weights, and they are, I believe they're 400. Of course, I can't find it now, but it is. There are 372 yards, so almost 400 yards. So held double, that's 400 yards of fingering, which is, well, roughly 1,500 yards, which gives me a sweater.
Roughly, like 12, Mom.
No, there's 72. So you have to do 72 times 4 also.
But it's still less than 400.
Yes.
400 times 3 is 12, not 15.
Right. 400 times 4 is 16.
There we go.
So I took 100 off, and that made it 15.
Okay.
It could be 14, but it's enough to make me a sweater.
Okay.
And, I like being bright. So
You tried the neutral thing for a little bit, and it does not work for you.
I don't wear them. So I now have enough to make a $40 sweater.
And it's gorgeous. It's a cashmere, I believe. No, this is just the wool.
I think so.
And it's beautiful. So yeah.
Super extra fine merino, superwash moisturized. It's incredibly soft. So that is about all I have. Do you have anything else?
No, I have nothing else. I've been.
We really didn't think we were going to be taping this week, because I originally thought I was going to be away. But Mom is sick, but Mom is fine. She's had every shot but this last booster. And someone's going to have to go down and get her signed up for that. Maybe we'll do that at Thanksgiving. We'll see. Well, I'll have to talk to Rick. Her doctor's appointment that we were going to take her to tomorrow has now been rescheduled for December, and we're not going to be here. So I already told my brother, well, tag you're it, because we're not back in town until the day after, and then I have a doctor's appointment 2 days after that. So we wouldn't be able to come until 5 days later. Anyway, we will keep in touch with Mom. We're calling her. I'm calling her on a daily basis to make sure she doesn't get lonely being stuck in her room. I mean, we don't know how many other people in the hall have COVID. It may be that she is not the only one. She is not a social butterfly, so she doesn't really roam the hall. So someone came in.
Or was at her table for breakfast,
or
lunch,
was at
dinner.
Yeah, she has a very small group of people that she interacts with. So it could be someone else on her hall also has COVID. So, we'll see.
We'll find out.
Or not.
Or we won't.
But,
and she'll be better.
And she'll be fine. Right. I'm assuming she will be fine. Anyway, so that's about it. Hope to see you all at Rhinebeck.
Yes.
Please say hi. Or Indy. I know at Indy we have a better chance.
So just as a recap for us for next weekend, we will not be at Cakapalooza or Wool and Folk. We will be all at Indy Untangled. We are staff again this year. And we will be at Rhinebeck on, I believe, Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
And that is that.
I have no plans to buy anything, so it's really
I have plans to at least look at.
Grabs me.
I have plans to look. No, you have plans to buy Dad wine.
Yes, and I certainly want to see what Miss Babs has. I always like Miss Babs.
There is a Canadian leather and cork and stuff, and they have this thing called a needle binder. They're thread and maple. If anyone is curious, just look them up. Thread and maple, and they have this thing called a needle binder, and they have pages in it that are interchangeable like organizers.
Ooh.
I'm very excited to see them in person.
That would be cool.
It is expensive, as is most of our handmade stuff. Craftsman work is expensive because it's a lot of time, effort, and skill. But yeah, that might be a very expensive purchase that comes home, because I'm very angry they're going to be there now, because it's pricey. Well, but I'm going to show you, and it's going to be very pretty.
Oh.
I've already told my boyfriend that that might happen, and he was like, yeah, I can see that happen. Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, I don't have anything express that I'm looking for, so.
No, I have two sweaters, I have one designy kind of sweater that I'm, thinking about, that if something, calls to me.
We're giving someone a ride up to Rhinebeck.
Yes.
On Thursday, and if I get a pattern out of this, maybe I'll buy yarn to fit the pattern.
All right. So, with that, though, if you see us, please say hi. Again, we're pretty recognizable, I would think.
Yeah, the blinding white hair.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just gonna say, mine looks very, very light today in the camera,
especially over there,
especially in my little white spot.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm gonna have my hair for the weekend. It will obviously be this, but it probably won't be pulled back, or it might be pulled back. So
I'm gonna at least have one pulled back. If it's windy, both will be pulled back.
Yeah. So happy to say hi. Happy to see any faces that we at least talk to, and that you at least watch back.
And Vogue is open for pre-order.
And for full registration. The two highest packages have already been sold out.
They're the ones that include the dinner.
Mm-hmm. We registered last week, and we will be there for. We have a class on Thursday afternoon. We have a class on Friday and a class on Saturday. We haven't decided yet if we're going to go back on Sunday.
It really depends on the marketplace.
It's going to depend on the marketplace. It's also going to depend on how we're feeling after
the weather.
3 days and the weather.
There have been Sundays where it iced overnight, and if it's done that, I am not going back in, because enough people. Remember, we had Amy's class, and people were falling down trying to get into the Marriott Marquis. We have a hotel room for Thursday night and Friday night. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we don't have to worry about the weather until we're trying to leave on Saturday. You can see I certainly have a stash, so I can just kind of reach in and grab. So I reached in and grabbed for the little one sweater. I had to go get something for this.
Yeah.
So if something hits me, yeah. I did buy a piece of luggage one year.
You did. At Vogue, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's right over there.
Dad
I love
was
it.
so mad that year. It was great.
I love it.
But yeah, so I think I'm looking mostly at Aran and bulky weight at Rhinebeck this year. But again, excited to see what it brings. And we will hopefully see you all there.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.